you're looking at Oxygen Not Included from Klei Entertainment. It's lighting up Steam at the moment, so I thought let's have a play of it and see what we think. It's a game that's set in space. You land here with these three characters inside some sort of space rock, and immediately you start to dig. You dig yourself a living space, more room in which to create and house the things that you need to survive. In this space here, there is a small amount of food and a small amount of oxygen, and obviously you've got these tools for digging. And you can see surrounding their living space is, you know, rocks and clay and sandstone that you can use to build the things that you need. Now, the spaces that you can see are filled with different gases, and the gas that we're interested in is oxygen. Thus the name. And as you know, we need oxygen to breathe. Some of the other spaces are just vacuums, and you know they're not much use to you. And some of them are poisonous gases. But generally speaking, although each of these maps is randomly created, you're going to find that some of the minerals and ions and metals that you need are going to be sort of really close to those areas which you might not want to open up. So here you can see that I'm just building the very first types of structures, which are, you know, just a sort of a flooring and laddering in order to get to the places where you want to go. I mean, I really enjoy this early part of the game where you're sort of presented with this well, it is a random world, but it's ordered in such a way that the things that you need in the early game are close by, and the things that present the challenges and the solutions to middle and late game are farther away. But you have to plan in advance the sort of environment that you want to create, while at the same time keeping in mind the resources that you have to mine. And you know, you'll see here there's a resource, the sort of green stuff that you need in order to power the engines that I'll be building later on, that will feed oxygen into these living spaces, because sooner or later everything runs out. You know, your food runs out, your oxygen runs out, so you've got to figure out the technologies and the machines that will replace those things. And here is we're seeing now, we're starting to build the first kind of machines that you'll need. This is a generator, which one of the characters. And the characters, by the way, are really quite charming, as you'd expect from a company like Klei, who seem to have a real knack for just creating cookie, funny, engaging characters. And so we're building this generator and the batteries, which will help to store some of the energy. And you see there upstairs I've built some cots. Now those cots are the first of a series of items that you need in order to keep your little people happy, because they all have their strengths, they all have their weaknesses, they all have their quirks, and as the game goes on they start to become unhappy. And you can see there, this is the part of the overlay that shows the oxygen level. So at the top we're quite happy, we've got quite a lot of oxygen. Underneath it's a little bit thinner, so we're going to build these oxygen pumps which are used by the generator in order to create oxygen inside this space. And as the game goes on, obviously the little people create waste of different sorts, and it has to be dealt with, or it has to be gotten rid of, or it has to be exploited in some useful way. So as they go about their work, as I said earlier, like building those cots, it gives them somewhere to sleep at night rather than just sleeping on the floor, which is going to keep them happy for a little bit longer. And you'll see, like, once I've built these oxygen tents, these oxygen pumps, the next things I'm going to want to build are going to be something to create food. And there are different levels of food processors. You start off with this pretty basic machine that pumps out, you know, a kind of ghastly mush that will keep them alive but won't keep them very happy. And then as you research technologies, and we'll look at how you do that later, you start to build more complicated machinery that will give them nicer things to enjoy, not just food processors, but also just cultural and artistic artifacts where you can make the living space a little bit more bearable. But at this point of the game, that's a long way off. What you really just need to do is figure out a way to survive. Now, as the game goes on, as you can see here, you get new little people who will come and help you, because as you build these machines, they need to be manned, so to speak, and so we need more people. Of course, more people, they consume more food, they consume more oxygen, and that creates more problems. But that's part of the fun. And what I like about this game is, for example, here I've just dug down to unlock this really key resource, which is water. But in order to get through it, I've had to sort of open up this area where there's lots of carbon dioxide, which is not great. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to keep that carbon dioxide, which is heavier than oxygen, away from my little people, so that they don't asphyxiate themselves. But they're going to have to go through it in order to get some of this water to begin with, because I need water in order to create food. I just love all the little problems that you're presented with. Every time you create a solution to something, you're also creating a problem. For example, those oxygen pumps, they're using up that green stuff, and once that green stuff goes, then the oxygen pumps are not going to work anymore, and my oxygen is going to start running out. So at which point I need to have a more complicated machine and more advanced machine, and I need to have new solutions. So this is one of those games where you learn that the hard way. You learn that oh, my people are dying, and I haven't given enough thought over to research, and I haven't done enough exploration in order to find new resources, and now I'm dead. Or I'll tunnel into a really nice looking area and get some water, but I'll mess it all up so that the water ends up flooding my living area. And that's the fun part of this game, is that each time you play, it's slightly different. It's slightly the same in that you know a little bit more about what you need to do. So here is the research part of the game. I've built a computer and I've got somebody working on it, and some of my people are better at working the computers than others. And slowly they're going to figure out which technologies. The sort of technologies that I'm going to be interested in coming into this are going to be how to pump water, because my little people don't like to be mucky. They get unhappy if they're dirty. So I'm going to build them a shower. I'm going to build them a nice lavatory. Those things need water. So I'm going to have to build a water pipe, a water pump, and some water pipes. And what I also enjoy about this game is because I even going back to SimCity, which I played when it came out in 85, 86, I loved all the sort of connecting things, the railways and the power lines and all that stuff. And this is a lot like that, in that if you're the sort of person who likes solving problems, like how to connect plumbing, and how to connect sort of outgoing plumbing, and how to you've got to find a place to put the waste. You've got to dig out a sump in order to put your waste. In real life, I have no interest in these things. I've never done a bit of plumbing in my life, but in video games, I sort of enjoy the intricacy of these problems. And here you can see I'm figuring out how to join how to join the electricity and join the metal pipes. At some point, this person on this treadmill is not going to be creating enough energy, and I'm going to have to look for more advanced power resources. And I think the next one up is like a coal powered generator, which is obviously pretty messy and pumps out all sorts of nasty toxins. So it comes with its downsides, and so you're always looking for ways in which to improve the lives of your little people and find new technologies, while at the same time not doing anything stupid with my world. Like here you can see I found this vacuum space at the top, and that's where I'm going to pump my garbage, all the poison, the dirty water that comes from the shower and the lavatory. But it's above me, so that causes problems. I don't want to be in a situation where there's nothing but sandstone underneath it, where the water can leak through. And drown my people or poison my people. So all the time you're dealing with these solids, gases, liquids, and how they work in the real world is important to how you survive in this game. I hope that this game is in early access. It seems to be doing really well on Steam. I'm not surprised. I think it's great fun. I mean, I played it for like 3 days straight. I didn't really get into the late game because I was just so interested in just perfecting my sort of early and middle game and learning my lesson, and then going back and trying to create a more perfect space for my little people. That's just the way I like to play these games, rather than sort of rushing through to the late game. And I'm looking forward to going back and playing the late game. And I want to encourage Klei to add to the complexity of this game. This game doesn't hold your hand. It is the sort of game that asks you to figure it out for yourself. And I think it will be fine if this is a game, like Minecraft, or RealmWorld, or one of those games that just is complicated and caters to people who just love playing it. So my name's Colin Campbell. I'm with Polygon. You can read more about this game on Polygon. And in the meantime, I hope you'll give Oxygen Not Included a go. It's great fun.